Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all good and hope you're all healthy. So today we're going to be solving problem 24 of your book. This is chapter 4, page 106. All right, so problem 24, the question is, you purchased 1,000 shares of the new fund at a price of $20 per share at the beginning of the year. You paid a front-end load of 4%, and the securities in which the fund invests increase in value by 12% during the year. The fund's expense ratio is 1.2%. The question is, what is your rate of return on the fund if you sell your shares at the end of the year? Okay, so we'll start by answering this question. In order to purchase these shares, all right, we want to purchase 1,000 shares of the new fund at a price of $20 per share. So we're purchasing 1,000 shares. Each share cost $20. So if you multiply 1,000 by 20, so we're investing. We want to purchase shares whose value is, so 1,000 times $20. So we want to buy $20,000 worth of shares. However, don't forget that we have a front-end load. We paid a front-end load of 4%. So to calculate how much we're going to invest, we do the following formula. To purchase the shares, we have to invest the net asset value over 1 minus the load. Okay? The net asset value, how much shares are we going to buy? We're going to buy $20,000 worth of shares. All right? 1,000 shares as quantity. So quantity times price. The quantity I'm going to buy 1,000 shares, $20 each. That is the price. So my net asset value is $20,000. I divide the net asset value by 1 minus load. I have a front-end load of 4%, which is 0.04. So my net asset value, which is $20,000, I divide that by 1 minus 0.04, which is 4%. So to purchase these shares, I have to invest $20,833 at the beginning of the year. Now, the question states that I'm going to sell my shares at the end of the year. What happened during the year? The fund, the securities in which the fund invests, they had an increase in value by 12% during the year. But however, the fund's expense ratio, don't forget, is 1.2%. Therefore, during the year, the securities increased in value by 12%, but we have an expense ratio which is 1.2%. Therefore, the shares increased in value. They started at the price of $20 per share. I had 1,000 shares, so I had $20,000 worth of shares at the beginning. So these shares, they increased in value from $20,000 to what? We had an increase of 12% during the year. So I multiply my $20,000, my beginning value of the shares. I multiply the $20,000 by an increase of 12%, which is 1.12 when I'm increasing. I multiply by 1 plus the growth rate, which is 12%. So 1 plus 12%, 1 plus 0.12. So I'm multiplying by 1.12. But however, don't forget that I have an expense ratio of 1.2%. So I subtract 1.12, my growth, which is 1 plus my growth. I had an increase in value by 12%, but I have an expense ratio of 1.2. So I subtract 1.2%, which is 0.012. So I have a growth in these $20,000 worth of shares. I have a growth of 12%. So I multiply by 1 plus growth. But I need to subtract my fund's expense, which is 1.2%. So the shares increased in value from $20,000 to $22,160. So I had shares at the beginning. I purchased them. I invested $20,833. At the end of the year, after I had a 12% growth in value of these securities, but a 1.2 expense ratio, 1.2% expense ratio. After all this happened during the year, my rate of return was what? So my ending value minus my beginning value over my beginning value to get it as a percentage. So my rate of return, the ending value, I ended the year with $22,160. I invested $20,833. These are the values that we just calculated. So I ended the year with $22,160. I invested $20,833. This is my profit. If I divide it by my initial investment, which is $20,833, I get my rate of return, which is 6.37%.